When I got out of the mindset that I wasn't rehabilitating or redeveloping my wrist, and I started getting into the mindset that I was rehabilitating my arm, that changed the whole game. Okay, guys, I'm here to talk about a wrist sprain and some things you can possibly do to, I wouldn't say rehab, but I would say to redevelop the wrist back into a space where you can actually get back into weightlifting. I actually injured my wrist on doing re-racks on where they hang cleans. I believe I put up on the screen right here where I actually injured it. And since then, it's been really difficult for me to not do re-racks. Of course, I can't do re-racks right now. I can't like do a clean and then re-rack it back down into the high hang. It's not happening. I could do it, but it's not smart because all I'm gonna do is re-injure it. Okay, now this happened about 3 months ago, and when it happened to me, I'm trying to think of exactly how I could feel it. I could feel like it was a semi sort of serious sprain, but as the weeks progressed and I got closer to the competition that I was talking about in the previous video, I ended up doing that. My numbers were 110, 150. So not really where I wanted to be, but I gotta be happy with the fact that I did get a PR. Like my last PR was 110, and so I did 110 is what I'm trying to say. And then I got a 10 kilo PB, a personal best on the clean and jerk. So last time I was on the platform was about a year and a half ago. I ended up doing 140, I ended up doing 110, 140. And so this year I did 110, 150. So I gotta be happy with that, right? But this is about the wrist sprain leading into this most recent time on the platform. I injured this wrist about 6 weeks prior to that. Okay, so I was really optimistic about it as I was going through my whole wrist sprain ordeal. But as I was saying, it got more and more serious as the weeks progressed. And I was starting to see that my wrist wasn't really making the progress that I was planning that it would make. And so in this video, I'm gonna talk about some band work that I was constantly doing, and then just recently, within the past couple of weeks, which is what really helped me out with my wrist, was I actually started doing some just regular bodybuilding stuff. I'm gonna talk about that too. The first thing that helped me out when it came to doing my wrist redevelopment was the fact that I wasn't necessarily redeveloping only my wrist. When I got out of the mindset that I wasn't rehabilitating or redeveloping my wrist, and I started getting into the mindset that I was rehabilitating my arm, that changed the whole game. That really did, man. When I was doing stuff with the bands, I was like only doing wrist stuff. So I was focusing on just the wrist. And then, like I said, as the weeks progressed, I started to feel that the sprain wasn't just in the wrist, but it carried all the way up into this outer arm area. I felt some here. So like there was some residual effects, man, that happened that I guess compounded themselves all the way up into the arm. And so I started doing the incline dual dumbbell curls where you stretch at the bottom, where I'll try and put it up on the screen if I have some footage. But you sit like you're doing dumbbell inclines or barbell inclines. So you set up the bench that way. But then instead of doing overhead stuff, you let your arms hang from the side and let the weight stretch out your biceps, and then you just slowly bring it up. And bro, that's the only thing I incorporated just within this last couple weeks, and it's been night and day. Hold on, I'm sweating my ass off, hold on. Okay, so that by itself was a major change in getting back into lifting the weights that I was lifting before I sprained my wrist. I also developed the mindset that a wrist sprain is hella serious, bro. It's hella serious. Like, I'd never sprained my wrist before. This is the first time I sprained my wrist. And so it brought a level of reality and perspective to how serious a wrist sprain can be. So if you're out there, man, and you experience some sort of a wrist sprain and it's like been nagging you for weeks and weeks and weeks and months, just know that it did it to me too, bro. It got me too. Okay, so initially, like I was saying in the beginning of the video, it felt kind of semi-serious. And then as the weeks progressed, I started to realize that it was actually serious. And so hopefully this video can help you digest the fact that it probably just treat all wrist sprains serious, because these bones and ligaments and tendons that are all in this small little tiny area, it's very serious, man. This is a very complex area. The wrist is a very it's just like your ankle. That's why it takes forever for an ankle sprain to heal. It can take up to 6 months. If you twist your ankle, it could take months. Okay, so please don't get discouraged like I tend to do sometimes when I get an injury like this, and like you can't perform in the same way that you've been performing for the past year or two. So just take that into account, man. Other than that, man, this is a really short video. I haven't been on YouTube in a minute, so I just wanted to holler at you guys, let you know I'm still in the game, putting up new numbers. Hopefully you guys have been watching my shorts. I've still been putting in a little bit of work on the shorts. If you have any further questions on wrist sprains and anything that I've done to help facilitate a faster recovery for the wrist, hit me up in the comments below. Just hit up those dual dumbbell incline curls, and it sounds like a gimmick, like there's gotta be more to it than that, but that's really the only thing I changed in my redevelopment of my wrist was doing those incline, I don't even know what you call them, bro, dual dumbbell incline curls. I don't know, but it's a really popular bodybuilding exercise, and so I just incorporated it somehow into the rehabilitation of my arm and my wrist, and bro, it has literally changed the therapy that I've been doing on my wrist night and day. Don't forget to sub to the channel if you like content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.